Yes. Could you just maybe start by introducing yourself for us, Steph?
Sure. I am Steph Walker. I am a captain transitioning out into the civilian sector. I did my lieutenant time in field artillery and I transitioned into military intelligence last year. I did about 6 years on active duty, a little bit more. I'm currently at Fort Johnson. I spent some time at Fort Lewis, kind of all over the place, as I'm sure a lot of people watching this video have. It's been an absolute blast. I'm married to another captain. We have a son together, and the Army has been an incredible opportunity.
Okay, excellent. Where'd you go to school, Steph?
I went to West Point. I graduated in 2017. I married a classmate, and it's been, a lot of fun. I played basketball there for a few years, kept pretty busy, majored in operations research, kind of all the good West Point stories.
Yeah, yeah, awesome. Okay. Well, how did you hear about Alliance Careers?
This is kind of a fun story. So I actually heard about Alliance Careers from someone who used to recruit for Alliance, and they had since kind of come back onto active duty. But the way that they spoke about it was incredible. It was kind of like a team atmosphere. The values that you get used to in the Army, he attributed those to the corporation, which was really cool to me. And with my timeline, I didn't have time for an internship or for whatever kind of programs that you typically would use to aid in your transition. So Alliance really spoke to me from the standpoint of I was going to get those same opportunities on a little bit more of a condensed timeline.
Okay, excellent. Can you tell me a little bit about your experience working with Alliance? How was that? How did you find it beneficial to work with Alliance?
Alliance is incredible because everybody who works there kind of comes from some kind of service. So they speak the same language. So when you go to the first class, and John Zornick will be intimidating and scary because he used to teach math at West Point, and I always kind of got that vibe from him. But the first class is taking kind of a line and block chart like you're used to seeing and translating it into what it would mean in the civilian sector. So you're really kind of equating it to something that you already know, and you're able to kind of make informed decisions moving forward because you might not know what a plant manager does, but you know what a battalion commander does, or you know what a company commander does, so that you can start looking at jobs and making goals that are in the right language. And it just goes on from there. The classes get more complex, more detailed. You get into the interview classes, which are incredible. But that first class was what resonated with me of, oh, these people get it. They're here to speak my language and help me, which is pretty unique as a veteran transitioning into the civilian sector.
Okay, perfect, perfect. Okay. How many interviews did you conduct in the hiring conference and what was the result of those?
I did 9 interviews in the hiring conference, which was it was like a tournament. A lot of the people who were in the conference with me doing the interviews kind of equated it to speed dating. Um, but over 2 days, I did 9 interviews. And as John Todd would say, I won 9 interviews. I had 9 requests for follow-up or continuing the process.
Excellent. What do you attribute your success to throughout the conference?
Oh my gosh. The conference is incredible. It's like we talked about like a tournament. It's very fast paced, very exciting. And I think what really helped me and what I kind of very much realized early on is that it's very easy to get intimidated, but an interview is just a conversation, and you talk about misconceptions that a lot of Army or, any kind of service officers get when they transition. And it's that kind of authoritative, kind of scary leadership through force is kind of the misconception that a lot of people are kind of assigned. And they already know what you've done. They've seen your resume. They know that you're incredibly talented. They know that you're responsible, that you have those Army, or I keep saying Army, that's where I came from. They know that you have all those attributes already. You don't need to express that in an interview. You need to have a conversation. I was laughing. I was telling mom jokes. I talked about Costco with somebody just because it was something that we both liked. And that's kind of making that connection was, I think, what made me more successful. Your resume already speaks to your success. You need to show them that you're also a person that they want to work with.
Yeah, perfect. Love Costco. Love Costco.
Who doesn't?
Well, do you have any words of advice or encouragement for other transitioning officers?
I think the biggest advice that I can give you is one, you've already made a great decision if you're working with Alliance. Can't speak highly enough of them. I know Claire Patterson was kind of the person that I was assigned with. She's incredible. The biggest thing that I can give you working with Alliance is that this is, I'm going to date myself. I married a Philly fan, but you got to trust the process. Jump in with both feet, because the rules and kind of the checklist that they're giving you are designed to really help you. This isn't one of those things where you can pick and choose. No, you got to go in and buy in and be ready to roll. And if you really do that, then I think you'll be very successful. They've done this hundreds of times. You got to kind of trust the expert here and just work with their program as best you can.
All right.